Hey, what's up, everybody? Brotrio here, and there are some game series that are made what they are because of the items and weapons you get in them, and The Legend of Zelda is one such series that has popularized this so much that it has some of the most iconic video game items or weapons one could dream of. So, we are here to do our job and count down our top 10 favorite Legend of Zelda items. So with that being said, let's get right into it. Let us take a moment to reflect on just how badass the mirror shield is. I mean, the shields are amazing in any Zelda game because you gotta have good defense to survive. Link's not the strongest person in the world, and all these monsters deal quite the wallop. So, having a shield that can reflect shit is way better than just having a regular-ass shield because you can, like, solve puzzles by reflecting light off your shield. You can even, in Ocarina of Time, have one of the best boss fights ever by absorbing fire and ice magic into your shield until you just
it can absorb
shoot it at them.
Can absorb, it can reflect.
You can kill ghosts with it.
Yeah, the mirror shield is one of the best shields of all time, let alone one of the best items in Legend of Zelda.
One of the least practical weapons on this list is also one of our favorites, the ball and chain.
Badass.
It's so badass.
It's amazing, but I'd say it's one of the least practical in Zelda history.
Well, yeah, you can't barely move when you have it out, and it takes Link forever to swing it. And
you got that like pregnant woman waddle, and like you can hold it in front of you, block stuff like it's a shield.
That is a cool feature.
You can use it instead of bombs.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite things. Just blast through rock with the chain.
Yeah,
it's definitely like the funnest item to use in Twilight Princess to me. Like that and the spinner.
I brought that thing up all the time just to feel like a badass swinging it around.
The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild revolutionized the Zelda franchise in many ways. But one thing that, in my opinion, was a weakness was a severe lack of the traditional, like, iconic Zelda items. But the one item from Breath of the Wild on this list that made it is definitely one of the best in this series. The Sheikah Slate is the ultimate magical Swiss Army knife of the Zelda franchise.
Yeah, it's a tablet,
it's
a map.
It can freeze objects in time, it's a map, it's a camera, it can teleport you, it can summon a friggin' motorcycle. It's amazing. The Sheikah Slate has almost no equal in terms of sheer versatility, in my opinion. Because
it really does.
You pretty much can't do anything in Breath of the Wild without it. There's no way around a lot of the puzzles and a lot of the things, even with the ridiculous physics system in that game.
Now, a lot of you may be thinking, oh, they lumped everything from Breath of the Wild in for the Sheikah Slate as one entry. And while we're in the spirit of lumping things together, we're going to go ahead and lump all the spells you get in the Legend of Zelda series in one, because
it's hard to choose just one.
It is insanely hard.
Like, that would be half the list.
I mean, you have all the spells from Zelda 2, which made that game even worth a shit, because you can turn into a fairy, you get that one spell you can't beat Thunderbird without, and, I mean, it's got some awesome spells in it. Then you fast forward a little bit to Link to the Past. You get these awesome medallions with the Quake and Ether and Bombos medallions. Then you fast forward again, and you get to Ocarina of Time, and this has possibly some of the best magic in the entire series, or any game for that matter, with Din's Fire, Ferore's Wind, and Nehru's Love, and these are just some of the coolest spells you could ask for. And it just shows that Link is not a mage by any means, but if he is bestowed the correct magic, he can use it in the most unique and awesome ways possible.
Now, speaking of magic, one set of items that Link gets pretty often is the rods. Like,
ice rod, fire rod.
Sand rod, air rod.
It's amazing.
Yeah. Link commands the elements, and he just God, it's so fun to use them. Like,
Oh, I
Breath of the
know.
Wild
Like-
is great with them. Link to the Past has, like, the Ice and Fire rods. There's so much fun in that, but
Link Between Worlds.
Link Between
Link
Worlds.
Between Worlds stepped it up.
Yeah, because you
Like
get the fire rod, and then the upgraded one, you just make the fire tornado.
And I loved having the wind rod.
The wind rod was
with
awesome.
the 3D on.
Oh,
'cause
yeah,
you just
that
saw
was fun.
yourself come up and everything below you died, and it was just great. And there is just nothing better than commanding the elements to solve puzzles and kill everything in sight.
One of the strangest items in Zelda history, definitely the strangest item on our list, would have to be the Beetle from the divisive Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword. I mean, I friggin' loved that game, but I love the Beetle more than anything in that game. The Beetle was a whole lot of fun. Remote controlling it around the levels and everything, giving a whole new level of exploration that, frankly, Skyward Sword didn't have.
Yeah.
But the Beetle is definitely the standout from that game. You have a little remote control drone that can scout for you at first and cut a few lines here and there. But once you upgrade it where it can carry stuff around for you, holy hell, that world gets
Oh, yeah.
revolutionized in so many different ways.
Yeah, I would spend like 30 minutes just seeing how much stuff I could bomb without moving Link physically.
Yeah, the Beetle is an absolutely amazing item from definitely, like, not the most acclaimed Zelda game by the fan base, but I don't think I've ever met anyone that played that game that dislikes the Beetle. The Beetle was so great, it even made its way into Super Smash Bros. For Wii U and 3DS, and it is definitely the scariest item in that game when it gets hurled at you.
There are two things Link is widely renowned for. One is having the Triforce of Courage, and two is wielding the Blade of Evil's Bane. The Master Sword is without a doubt one of the best weapons in all of Zelda, let alone all of gaming, because it's one of the most iconic swords anyone can think of. And it's the name is accurate. It is the bane of all evil's existence, and it has been kicking Ganondorf's ass up and down the timeline for like 14 games. I mean, God,
every couple hundred years it might need charged up a little bit.
Yeah.
but-
Yeah, indestructible, nearly, can absorb light-based magic and throw it back to user. Not to mention, anything dark or evil is pretty much going to be instantly murdered.
Yeah. Also, a little positive here for the user. If you're in the picture of health and full health, it shoots beams out of it.
Yeah,
How
I mean,
cool is that? It's like
it's
a long-range sword.
Laser sword. One of the longest running items in the Zelda franchise is the ever-useful Boomerang. You can stun enemies with it, you can grab items with it, you can use it to solve some puzzles. The magic Boomerang, you can control it. Sometimes it spawns little baby tornadoes. Like,
Yeah, the
there's just so
Boomerang,
much you can do.
It's been reimagined so many times in Zelda, and it really hasn't changed too much other than the Gale Boomerang, but one of my favorite instances of it is in Link to the Past, how you can combo it with the rooster, and it just floats under you, and then you're just like a hovering, clucking
Death machine.
Yeah, you just can't be stopped. Nothing can touch you. Also, the tri-boomerangs in Breath of the Wild were like my favorite freaking items.
Yeah,
to
that was
get.
my favorite weapon, but they broke so fast.
They did, but they were so useful. God, they were awesome.
And unlike my ex-wife, it always comes back to me.
On to my all-time favorite Zelda item, the bow and arrow. Of course, it's gonna be this. It's one of the best weapons you could ever imagine, and it's just always great in Zelda because Link gets this bow and arrow, and then he gets range, and Link with range means you're gonna die because he can load it up with regular arrows, bomb arrows, fire arrows, ice arrows, light arrows,
lightning arrows,
ancient arrows. You can just obliterate anything. And I mean, the bow and arrow is one of the best weapons ever and you can combo it. Like, bomb arrows, up until Breath of the Wild, weren't actually a thing. You could just mix bombs and arrows, and then Twilight Princess, you get the eagle mask, you can actually start sniping people with the bow and arrow. It's absolutely incredible, and it's just great. The bow and arrow is always fun, and you can just rain down death on your enemies.
Well, assuming you've been following along with our list so far, pretty sure you know what number 1 is, because no Zelda Top 10 items list is complete without it. The friggin' hookshot is, in my opinion, the greatest item in Zelda history. It is iconic, it is insanely useful, it's really cool, and we're counting hookshot and clawshot, double clawshot, everything. We're counting them all the same thing. They have the same function.
The double claw shot was so fun.
The double claw shot, you were straight up Spider-Man, and it was amazing. Like, they were so good, Skyward Sword brought them back. I mean, everything about the claw shots are cool. The sound is satisfying. It can stun enemies similar to the Boomerang in some games, not all. It can bring stuff to you, bring you to stuff, and kill bosses. It's fantastic. You can combine it with the Iron Boots to pull down stone statues in Wind Waker. It's very versatile, very cool, spring-loaded chain with a spike on the end, awesome Zelda weapon.
Hey, thanks for watching. Did you like the video? Why don't you hit that like and subscribe button? It really helps us grow the channel. And don't forget to ring that bell to join our notification squad. Also, you can follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. I put the links in the description just to make it easier for you to get to. And we will catch you next time for the next video from the Brotrio.